Hello everyone, and today I'm here with my professor, Stephen Harrod, and my name is Mario, and we would like to show you how to do traffic modeling in QGIS, and in order to do that we are going to need a plugin made by a guy called Pedro Camargo. Yeah.
So what version are hey, it's me, it's Steven. So what version are we using?
We are using
Mario.
the version 3.10.2.
Okay.
And I think the latest version is 3.10.3.
Okay.
But we know I'm not sure that the Aequilibrae, which is the name of the plugin that Pedro has made, works for version 3.10.3. But we know that
it works here. We've tested it.
We're
going to stick with this today.
Yeah. So the first step in order to make a traffic modeling is that we need some data.
Yeah.
So we are gonna go on the web and we are gonna download this data.
This is sample data that Pedro created for us to demonstrate.
Yeah.
The software.
And it's a very small network, but it helps you understand the intuition of how traffic modeling works and how it works in QGIS. So I've logged onto this webpage, AequilibraeTransportation. We're going to go down into use examples. Now there are two examples. There's something called Sioux Falls and Chicago Regional.
That's Sioux Falls, Mario.
It's called Sioux Falls and Chicago Regional. Now Chicago Regional is a rather large network, and for this short video we're going to use a more simpler example. So we're going to use the Sioux Falls data and network. So we press on it, we download it.
That was quick.
Very quick. Now I'm gonna copy it to a local folder. Yeah. And I'm gonna go down to our QGIS map, and I will make, just for the sake of not mixing things up, I will make a new folder. We're gonna paste the data, and it's a zip file, so we need to extract the data. And we want to extract here. Great. Now we have downloaded the data and extracted it. So now we are going to go back to QGIS. Now, in order to do any traffic modeling, we first need this plugin made by Pedro. So we go to plugins and manage and install plugins.
Settings.
And first of all, we have to look at the settings.
We're being kind of sneaky today, because we're going to show the latest version from Pedro, which may not be that late when you see this video a year from now, but today it's brand new. So it's experimental, so we're going to check the show experimental button, and that way we get the actual latest version that we're going to show you today. Because it won't show, if you don't check that box, you will not be able to find it in the directory.
You might be able to find Aequilibrae, but not the
latest version. Not the latest version. We want 0.6.
So it's important that you have this, that it says that it's experimental.
Although a year from now, it may not matter. A year from now, if you're watching this video long after we made it, then this step is not necessary.
So I'll press
Install.
Install.
And there it is.
Now, if you have been using previous versions of Aequilibrae, you might be wondering, why isn't it showing up here in the menu bar? It's because Pedro has made a new one that has a new interface, and it's located down here. Now,
make that bigger.
We need to make this one bigger because in order for this traffic assignment to work, we need to download some binaries. So we do that first. Press agree and download. And it takes a few moments. Now it's good practice when you download a new plugin for QGIS, just restart QGIS just to be sure that that QGIS can read this new plugin. So we are going to do that.
Yeah, make sure it's a clean start.
So we close QGIS, and then we open it again.
I've got it right there in the menu bar. There. Yeah.
Taking a bit of time.
There we go.
Here we go. Now, the first thing we have to do is we have to load the data. Usually, when you load data into QGIS, you can do it up here. Now, this is a transport modeling, and the Aequilibrae add-in already actually has a menu option that can load data. So we press Project and Open Project, and we need this Aequilibrae project file, and we go to our local in our QGIS folder, Aequilibrae. Now, the project is logically inside project. So we have Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls.
It's named after Indians.
We press Open, and there we have it. We have a network. Now, now we are ready to actually do the actual assignment. Now, the way this network works is if I'm let's say I'm going from here to, let's say, here, then once I'm on a link, I have to follow this link, and the link has some attributes that can be travel time, it can be capacity, and so on. And once I get to a node, I can either choose to say, okay, I have to go here. Do I want to go this direction, or do I want to go in this direction? And I can only choose to switch links when I'm at a node. So that's the basic idea behind the link node graph. Now we go into path and assignment, traffic assignment, and then this menu bar, or this box opens. Now, for this example, this is a road network, so we are going to load in a second. We are going to load a car traffic class. And the first thing we have to do is we have to load a demand matrix telling what is the demand for traveling from A to B and A to C and so on. So we press load matrix, and it's in for this specific example, it is in an Aequilibrae file. So we press load, and again we go into local, QGIS, Aequilibrae, Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls. I'm gonna have to practice. If anyone from Sioux Falls is watching, I apologize very much.
We can make you an American anytime now, Mario.
And now we go into TNTP data, and here we have a demand matrix. We press OK, open, and you see it's loaded a matrix. And we say add traffic class to assignment. Now next we have to go to skimming. We have to add distances for car, and these should be these should be blended. Then we have to add free flow time, and this should be for the last iteration. The next and final step is we go into the actual assignment. Now here we have several options. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to specify the alpha and the beta. You will probably notice that it says BPR here. It's because the way the algorithm figures out which cars should use which links in order to get that destination is based on the BPR mathematical function that links travel time and capacity.
This is the Bureau of Public Roads, the United States, and this is a function that tells you speed and congestion on the road from a formula that dates all the way back to the 1930s by a fellow by the name of Greensleeves.
And we have to specify the alpha and the beta parameters. So the first thing we have to it's not that alpha and beta are not based on lanes, but alpha is based on, it's a power constant, and the beta is just the b. Now for we will choose in this example just to say that alpha is 2 and that beta is 0.5. Now these are parameters that depend on each link. Capacity also needs to be capacity, and free flow travel time needs to be free flow time. Now QGIS also needs to print these results, and we have to specify a folder where these results should be loaded. So we go into local again in our QGIS, Aequilibrae, and now I'm going to create a new folder and call it traffic assignment results. And I select that folder, and now the results from my traffic assignment are going to be saved in this folder. We're going to use 250 iterations. Yeah, and we are actually ready to do the actual assignment. So we press assign, and it will start doing an iteration for the traffic assignment algorithm. And it takes a little time. But since this is a fairly small network, you see, even though it's taking some time, we are almost more than halfway through, and we have around 24 users choosing which routes they should take in the network. Now all the traffic assignment has been finished, and now we actually ready to load the results and to visualize them on this network. So the first thing we have to do is to load the results, and the way we do this is that we go to Open Data Source Manager. Now the results are in a CSV file, so we need this delimited text, and we have to find them. And if you remember, we saved them in this traffic assignment results, and here they are, the link flows. Press open. Now it's very important that you chose no geometry for geometry definition, and you can actually see here down here that we have the link IDs, we have the flow from in the AB direction, and the total flow and the flow in the BA direction. Because
I think what's happening here is we're just putting in the data from our solution. We are not actually adding at this step anything graphical on the map, because we already have the graphical on the map. We want to add this data to the graph that we have and make the graph change. You'll see in a minute, but so this is just extra data we need to add into our existing map.
Correct. To visualize the flows.
Right.
And we press add and close, and you can see the link flows.
So we have a new layer there, and that layer has a symbol that looks like a little data table, doesn't it? So it's not a layer you can see. It's just data. That's why it has no checkbox either, because you can't. There's nothing to see, so there's no checkbox to turn off and on.
Right now, this is just pure data.
It's just a data.
And now we have to figure out a way to link or to join.
We want that data on those red links.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the way we do this is that we press link. And the first thing we can show is if I right click on links and I say open attribute table, you'll notice I have this thing called link ID. And if I go to link flows and I press open attribute table, I also have a link ID.
Yeah.
And these match.
Yeah.
So we are going to use this for our advantage to link to make the flows visual on those links. So we have to highlight the links. We press layer. Then we go to layer properties, and we go into joins.
And so we're going to join that data to this layer.
And I'm just gonna make this one a little bit smaller
so it fits in the
so
screen.
you guys can watch, because
we're using a small screen to make this video. So
and we press
the add button there. That's the data that we want to join, and that's the field in the data file the link flows file, and then this is the field in the red lines, in the layers of the red lines.
And as I showed you just before, they had this one attribute that they had in common, and that was the link ID. So we can match them one to one.
The naming is a coincidence. They don't have to have the same name, but we just have to know that those two things are matching data.
Yeah, that's very important. Otherwise, we will have fuzzy
It'll just
joins.
be scrambled. It'll just be a mess.
So we press OK, apply, and OK. Now,
Now, nothing's happened yet. What's going on here?
Yeah, it looks like nothing has happened, but actually, if I right-click and I press Open Attribute Table, and I go all the way to the right, you see now I have them.
So that's new.
That
was not there before.
No.
Okay.
So we have joined the link flows.
Okay.
That means that if we want to visualize them now, we can right-click, press Properties, you go into Symbology, and we press that we want it graduated, and now we can choose to visualize the total traffic flows on the links.
Total number of cars moving on these links.
And instead of just visualizing that more traffic means a different color, sometimes it's easier to see if more traffic means a thicker line. So we will choose size.
Size always matters.
Size always matters. And just to make them visual, we'll just change these ranges a little bit. And I think red is
a good color.
Is a good color. Now I'm gonna make this one just a little bit smaller so that you guys can see.
I'll see everything on the screen here.
Because now I'm gonna press Classify. And now we have them.
Yeah.
Those are the links, and then I press Apply and OK, and here you have it.
Okay.
Now what I can do now is I can go to my browser. I can add an OpenStreetMap.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna make
this one. Make a little adjustment there.
Yeah, and then we're
gonna move things around a little bit.
This one.
Oh, look at that.
And maybe we want to just make this one a little bit.
Make it a little transparent.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think so. If we press here, let's say maybe 50%, something like that. And OK, and apply.
Yeah.
Now you have it.
So the thicker lines are more cars.
And the very smart thing now is if I go to Project and I say New Print Layout, and let's just call it Traffic Assignment, and I can choose to say Add Item, Add Map.
There we go. And now we've got. All right.
It's just loading the map.
Yeah.
Just taking a little time.
Taking a little time. There we go.
There we have it.
So
maybe we can just make this one
a
little
tight,
bit bigger. And now I can also say we can add a legend down here.
Yeah.
And there you have them.
Scoot that around.
I'll just make this one a little bit
up
here. And now you have a map that you can choose to export or print, where you can see the flows, and you can see how what a thickness, how it matches to what the amount of cars that go on this link.
Well, that works great. Well, this has been just a quick example. We didn't say anything about how you can write your own data. I'm afraid you'll have to look further for that on Pedro's website. And there's a lot of menu items and features in this plugin that we did not talk about. There's clearly a lot you can do with this. But we hope you've enjoyed this quick introduction and gives you enough of a interest and excitement to try to experiment with this yourself. So thanks so much for watching.
Thank you everybody for watching. It was a pleasure, and I hope you you can use this.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.